Welcome back to Growing Up Montessori, where we explore everything from the universe to our backyard. Today I'm here with my mom. We're going to be doing a craft with the lavender that we harvested from Evening Light Lavender Farm. We're going to be making lavender wands.
Last year we got to go on a vacation to Sequim, Washington, which is quite a ways away from us where we live. We're also in Washington State, but we're pretty much as far away as you can get from there. And we were there with the purpose of attending the Lavender Festival because we had driven through that area on other trips in the off season and seen all the signs, and we're like, we'd like to try that. And so we planned a trip to do a little tour of, we went whale watching in the Puget Sound and went through Victoria, BC, and then ended up at Sequim for the Lavender Festival. And so when we were there, we went to many lavender farms. I can't remember all their names because like maybe a dozen of them. A lot. And the most memorable one for us was Washington Lavender Farm. It had a big, beautiful house, and they had craft booths and vendors. And in their gift shop, they had some really cool things. Like
they had a lot of lavender type.
I thought she was going to tell you about the lavender ice cream.
Yes.
So you could get like lavender lemon ice cream, and I don't remember. There's lots of different lavender flavored ice creams and lemonades. And in the gift shop, they had things like this, and this is a lavender wand. And this one, the brand is Martha's Own, handcrafted product from Washington Lavender Farm. And their webpage is walavender.com, so if you'd like to look them up. And this was something that we had never seen before, but we looked at it and we thought, well, those would be fun to make. And we bought one to remind us of that. But what we also found while we were shopping was this book,
Growing and Using Lavender.
Growing and Using Lavender by Patty Barrett. This is a really cool book. It has recipes for baking with lavender. It talks about how to grow and care for your lavender. And it has patterns for making lavender wands and also a lavender balloon, which we thought about, or not balloon, lavender bottle, but it takes a lot of lavender. And so we're just going to be making a few lavender wands. We know we have more. We're not going to make lavender wands with all of this. We have some other crafts that we would like to do. This is what we are starting with.
We picked the materials we'll be using are some 1/4-inch ribbon. We picked our colors. I chose this light green, and my mom chose this lavender because it's lavender. We're going to be using zip ties to hold the lavender while we fold it over itself, and we're going to be using some kitchen scissors.
Yeah. One thing that I learned from reading in this book is that you want to use an odd number of lavender pieces so that when you're weaving it, you end up with a nice pattern. This one here is made with 15 pieces of lavender. We counted them. This one has 15. So the recipe says 15, 17, 19, an odd number. Selena is thinking she wants to go with 17. So we're going to pick out 17 pieces, and we'll see once we've picked out our lavender.
We've finished gathering up our 17 pieces of lavender and have zip tied them together. Now we're going to cut the tails off and start weaving. Now we're going to turn our lavender upside down and gently bend the stems over the heads.
This is why it's important to do it with freshly cut lavender, so the stems are still flexible and we're not breaking them off as we bend them.
So we've pulled off most of our leaves so they won't get in the way while we're weaving. We're going to go in and out every 2 stems, and
And we want the weave to be fairly tight as we are doing this and not leaving any gaps or spaces, because as the lavender dries and it shrinks, we want it to retain this shape, and so we're gonna make it. It's not gonna be loose; it's gonna be tight. Like you can see this, like this sample one. It's a pretty tight weave.
We have finished weaving our lavender wands. While I was finishing up mine, my mom bundled up a few more so we can make some more later. Ours are a little bit skinnier than the one we started with. We think that this kind was either fully bloomed or a different variety.
Yes, so the variety that we used was the only one that was in the U-pick field at Evening Light Lavender, and so it was our only choice. And some of the blossoms are opening, but not all of them. It's not fully in bloom, and so we think that might make up some of that bulky difference. One recommendation that we have, if you're going to try this yourself, is that you make sure that when you cut your lavender, that you're cutting lavender with long stems, so you have enough to work with. When we cut the lavender back from our yard, our stems were pretty short, and Abby bent it over to show what it would look like to make a wand, and the stems were so short when she bent it over, it was only like this long. It was like the little round part and this much. And so we thought we would be making lavender wands with our lavender from our yard, but it wasn't going to work out that way.
Opportunity showed itself.
Yes, and we are happy to support local small businesses that are having a tough time right now with what's going on in the world. And so we were happy to learn about, we just learned over the weekend, we saw on a friend had shared a Facebook post from this local lavender farm that we never even had been to, and it was really cool to go up there. We had most of the field to ourselves. In fact, almost the whole time we were picking, we were the only ones there. There was a small family there when we got there, and another couple coming in when we were leaving, and there was a ton of lavender left. So if you're feeling comfortable about getting out and about, we highly recommend finding some local small businesses and supporting them as much as you can, because we want them to still be here in the future. We want to be able to go back again.
And they have really good lavender lemonade.
Evening Light Lavender's lemonade is great, yes. We have other projects to share with you with the lavender that we have here, and also some culinary lavender that we bought to do some baking and cooking projects with. So make sure you're tuning in for more fun with lavender.
Leave a like down below and subscribe. Remember, share with your friends. We're growing up Montessori, where we explore everything from the universe
To our backyard.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.